Hey, good morning, good morning, good morning. I wanted to have a discussion today. I wanted to talk about how to find yourself. How to find yourself. Now, the reason why I want to have this discussion is because sometimes I reflect inward. I look inside myself and I examine the places I've been. Mentally, emotionally, not just physical places, but I'm saying like emotional, spiritually, mentally. I'm speaking of the states of my being. What I have been, how far I have come. Oh my goodness, how far I have come. And in that becoming, I had to find myself. Now, to the Creator, you're never lost because He always knows who you are. But we as individuals, we as humans, a lot of times lose ourselves in the rigors of life. We lose ourselves in the hurt, in the pain. We lose ourselves to someone else's image of what they want us to be to them and for them. So we lose ourselves in so many different dimensions. Now, it doesn't matter how you lost yourself. The important thing today that I want to get across is you can recover, you can, find yourself again. You can find yourself. And for many, it's not even a case of finding yourself again, because some of us have never walked in our true identity. Some of us have never even known, we don't even know who we are for real. Because many of the woes and many of the hardships can come, and probably did start at an early age. So the hardships, if they were not handled properly, just kept pushing you more and more down, more and more and more into that pit of despair. And in the pit, all the different dimensions and the levels and the depths of the pit has a different hat, a different identity that you have to take on to deal with that thing. You put on a different hat. Sometimes, whenever we're young, we have the hat of a child. If we are like abused sexually or whatever, are made to come into a knowing of that sexual aspect too early, then we put on that hat in order to cope. We put on the hat of a victim. We put on the hat of a victim. Now that hat of a victim, oh my goodness, if you don't get rid of that hat or take that hat off as soon as possible, if that hat is not relieved from you as soon as possible, then you take on that hat's mentality. That hat's mentality will override every other hat that you put on if that hat is not ridded of. If that hat is not taken off, you will just take on that victim mentality, and that mentality would be like a social fabric that you have adopted, and it will absolutely define everything that you put your hand to do. You will always look at things from a victim mentality. You will always look at things from a victim mentality until you take that hat off. Something got in my eye, y'all, excuse me. And if you're still like a grown person and you're still walking with a victim mentality, then that hat was put on you and never taken off. That's how you know that I'm really telling the truth, which many people know I'm telling the truth anyway because they've been there, even if they're not wearing that victim mentality hat anymore. But if you are doubting what I'm saying, Just look at the overriding characteristic of yourself. Do you have a victim mentality? Are you hard? Are you just always downing someone else? Are you always bullying someone else? You know, because your character, your overriding character in your life will show you the hat that you put on and you never took off. It'll show you the hat that you had to adopt, because I'm sure you didn't choose to adopt that hat. The hat was given to you by a person, place, or thing that decided to inflict you with whatever they wanted to get off of them, okay? So, and I'm not even going to say get off of them. I'm going to say that they wanted to just inflict upon you, because they didn't necessarily get it off of them. They just like included you in their dysfunction. I'll put it like that. They included you in their dysfunction. You happen to be somebody that like just came into their life. And I'm sorry about that. A cop went by me to get somebody, but I'm glad it wasn't me. But I'm not speeding no way. So, but yeah. So yeah, just pay attention to the overriding character and just see what it is that's like overriding your character, and that is a hat that you need to pay attention to. So yeah, just pay attention to the overriding characteristics that you exhort from yourself, because that would tell you like so much. And that's a key factor in rediscovering and finding or becoming your true identity, becoming into your true self. You have to do that hard thing and begin to allow yourself to be very truthful with yourself, because a lot of times, in life, and I did it, and most people do it. You don't want to accept a lot of things. You would rather just not deal with it and hope it just go away holistically. You know what I'm saying? You just hope it just go away like a cold. You have the symptoms and everything, but then one day you wake up and you're not suffering from the symptoms anymore. So yeah, in order to find your true identity, you have to like be ready to just put the big girl boots on, and the mentality, that you want to be free. And you're going to have to put in the work. You're going to have to dig. You're going to have to dig even deeper and even deeper. You're going to have to cry sometimes. You're going to have to say, man, what is that I'm feeling? You're going to have to like maybe talk to a support system. It can be your girlfriends, you know what I'm saying? Your sisters, your moms, even your daughters, even your husbands or brothers, because I'm finding that men, men who are really on your side, they'll tell you the truth a lot of times. They'll tell you the truth about what's going on in life, even from a man's perspective. They'll tell you, so you're going to have to be ready to dig into that depth and be ready to just like deal with it. If it's something that need to be just tweaked and you can keep it, then tweak it and keep it. Tweak it and keep it. Just like if you have like an older model car, you know what I'm saying? And maybe the car just needs a paint job. Tweak it, paint that car up, and keep it. If you don't want to get into like car payments again, just tweak the old car and keep it if it's possible. It's okay. It's okay to do that. If you have a old wardrobe or whatever, you might want to just tweak it, and just start like shuffling the garments around and wear this shirt with that skirt, and it'll be like really cute. But some things you got to just like see, and you got to just say, nah, this got to go. This got to go. And you have to be ready to just like let it go. Because I even do that sometimes with, if I'm cleaning out my closet, I'll sometimes hold on to stuff way longer than I should, because I'll just be like, man, I don't want to really get rid of this because I might want to wear it one day. And some things it's okay to do that, but a lot of things I need to just let it go. And I'm kind of learning to let it go. You know, I give a lot of stuff away, but I'm just saying some things I keep but long after I should be done got rid of it. So whenever you're like discovering yourself, you got to be ready to just basically clean your house. And I'm referring to you, your body, your mind, will, emotions as your house. You have to be ready to just clean it up. So yeah, so whenever you're in search of finding your identity, be ready to put in the work, because you are the one that's going to have to put in the work. I can sit here and tell you all day long what I believe, even about your situation. If you share it with me and you're willing to listen to me, I can tell you all day long, but until you're ready to put in the work and make it happen, because you're the one that has to solidify it. You're the one that has to approve it. You're the CEO of your life. You are the CEO of your life. No one else can sign your paperwork but you. But people can put paperwork all on your desk. They can put acquisitions and things all on your desk for you to review. Just like what people do in life. They throw everything up, you know, they put all kind of stuff before you. But until you sign off on it, it's not going to become active, but it will clutter you out. It will drown you out by everybody else's stuff if you don't do something with that. You have to actually like discover what you want to like sign off on and keep, and you have to observe what a person brings to you, and you have to say, nah, this ain't gonna work. Or it's almost like a tennis game. You know, somebody throw the ball at you, you hit that thing back. You hit it back, you're gonna have to engage it. And whenever you hit that ball or hit that whatever a person is bringing at you, that means that you are aware of it and you're doing something about it, whether you're keeping it or whether you are discarding it. So yeah, so you're gonna have to like engage in what a person is presenting to you. Don't just be passive. I mean, I was passive for years, for decades. I was passive. You know, I would just like say, okay, you know, I'm gonna go with the flow. It's good to go with the flow. But just make sure you're going with your own flow. Just make sure that you're going with your own flow. And that doesn't mean that it's a hard, rigid flow. It just means that you're in control and you're engaging and you're aware of what's in your environment. You're aware of people, places, and things that are like close enough to you to stab you in the back. Close enough to you to, you know, like enhance you. You're aware of those people that are close enough, those people, places, and things that are close enough to actually affect you. So you have to be aware. That's your flow. And it ain't to say that your flow can't get in flow with somebody else or another person, place, or thing, because that's how life is. You do flow with other things. Just like a river, every speck of water is flowing together to make a whole body of water. So yeah, whenever you're flowing and stuff, it just means that you're engaged with the process in a healthy way. Because don't nobody want an overflowing toilet. Don't nobody want an overflowing toilet. So yeah, just make sure it is a healthy flow and get in the flow. And y'all, I'm like having to like park here. So yeah, just learn how to examine the people, places, and things that are around you. The people, places, and things that are allowed to come into your life, because you are the one that opens the gate. Okay, you are the ones that should be opening the door for a person to come in. People can stand on the outside and knock all day long. People can stand in that outer court and, you know, you can look out the window and see them all day long. But everybody don't get to come into your door. Everybody don't get to even come up in your yard. And this is your house. I'm talking about your mental, emotional, spiritual, sexual, and physical and spiritual being. I'm talking about your house. Everybody is not authorized to come into your space. And it's okay. So in order to find your identity, you have to cut all of that stuff off. You know, you have to engage and be in control of that flow. So yeah, so whenever you're like trying to find your identity and everything, you have to be brutally honest. You have to be brutally honest with yourself. You have to be brutally honest, and you can't be be afraid. You have to be brutally honest, unapologetically. You don't have time to baby other people's feelings. You don't have time to be codependent with anybody. You don't have time anymore. You don't have any more time to be defeated. And whenever you're practicing those toxic habits, then guess what? You're going to be defeated. You're going to be defeated because you're leaving everything up to chance. And what you're doing is you're allowing another person, place, or thing to dictate the outcome. And you can't afford to do that anymore. Whenever you're setting an identity, when you're on your identity quest, you're going to have to do things totally different. You're going to have to do things totally different. And it begins with going with your own flow and doing what you got to do to come to begin to raise yourself out of that pit. Raise yourself out of that pit. Be aware of the different hats that you wear, and get that hat taken off of you. Get that hat taken off of you. Some hats are going to be easier to remove than others, but you're going to have to go on that quest to remove those toxic hats. So yeah, I'm going to do a part 2 on this, but right now I'm going to stop right there because I don't want this video to get too long. But yeah, we're in search of finding identity, how to find your identity, and we're going to do it, okay? We're going to do it. All right, so love you guys and have a good day. And thank you for listening. Please like and share. And until we meet again, shalom. So, what I was saying is, what was I saying?